Welcome back to the channel, baby. We're going to teach you how to connect with really anyone today. I feel like accountants, you're sort of smart, at left side of your brain, so analytical. We're going to teach you how to communicate with people, how to connect, build a best friend with 10 minutes. I call this the relationship building system behind every high producing accounting firm. Now, here's the thing. We're going to have some fun today. I feel like most accountants lose clients before they ever discuss their services, not because you're bad accountants and not because you're overpricing and definitely not because of the credentials. You got crazy credentials. But here's the thing. You lose because people don't feel connected to you. And here's what most people don't ever realize. The best accountant never wins. It's the accountant that people trust the most. That's the thing. You have to understand, I've watched firm owners with half the technical knowledge outperform brilliant CPAs because they understood one thing, right? People hire people first and then service a second. So what I'm going to do for you today is teach you how to connect with prospects on the phone, Zoom, networking events, referrals, consultations, sales calls, whatever it is. We're going to learn how to build a best friend so that you can get their business. So let's start with Module 1. First of all, like and subscribe. Check us out at Universal Accounting Center. Beautiful certifications. You get coaches, take you to the next level. And also, all of this stuff, this is sales in general. I just mainly talk to accountants, so just keep in mind, it's mainly for accountants, but the formulas and the concepts can be taught in any industry. So stuff you might have to spend 20 grand on for a sales program, I give it to you for free. So anyway, let's start with Module 1. Guys, people don't buy your service. People don't buy your product. People don't buy accounting, all right? This is the first mindset shift that you need to make. Nobody wakes up wanting your bookkeeping, your payroll, your tax preparation, your CFO advisory services. Here's what they want. Write it down. They need less stress, more money, more certainty, fewer mistakes, better decisions, and more time. Your prospect is not emotionally attached to accounting. They're emotionally attached to their problems. And the second you start talking accounting before understanding their problem, that connection dies. So, guys, just I need to connect with them, genuinely, like a person, like a human being. I need to be loving and caring, warm smile, bring the energy, and just hug them emotionally. And that's how you connect with people, smile bright. And they'll mirror you. You can control their emotions and their behavior by just being a little energetic and moving around and stuff and smiling. All that matters. All right, let's go to Module 2. Guys, stop trying to impress people. You're too much in your head when you do that. And accountants do this constantly. Prospect, they end up asking you a question. Here's what you do. You respond with a 10-minute explanation. It's insane. Why? Because expertise feels safe, right? So when your back is against the wall, you're going to fall to your lowest level of skill. Don't want to do that, right? Stop training and stop complaining and start training. I don't know how else to say it. So what you do off the phone translates to who you are on the phone. Look, why do you start doing that? Because you don't know what else to do. So you just ramble about your services. And here's what actually happens. You have to understand, they don't understand the jargon. So they end up becoming overwhelmed, confused. They feel talked at, right? And people don't connect through expertise. People connect through understanding, right? The goal isn't, look how much I know, Janet. The goal is, look how much I understand about you and how much my services can solve your problem. That's a massive difference, and that's what you need to do. All right, let's go to Module 3. All right, we're having fun. We're always having fun. We're always winning. Let's go to Module 3, the 70-30 rule. The 70-30 rule. Look at it like this. Top producers let prospects talk. Most accountants talk too much. Your target should be the prospect talks 70% of the time. You talk 30% of the time. Why? Because every minute they speak, they're giving you information. They're giving you ammo for the darn gun. Load it up, baby. Load it up. Download the data. Look, every minute they speak, they're giving you pain, motivations, goals, concerns, buying triggers. Most accountants interrupt the discovery process by educating too early. You need to diagnose before prescription. Always. Think of a doctor. Think, when I'm selling, I need to sell how Nate teaches me, like a doctor. Okay, a doctor doesn't get in, hey, your shoulder hurts, here's some pain pills for you. That would be insane, right? Module 4. Let's go to the 5. Title this Module 4. The 5 questions that create connection. All right. Hey, that weird stuff that you do, how's the weather? Throw that out. Put that on a shelf over there. Put that on a shelf. Forget small talk. Forget weather. Forget scripts. Here's something I'm going to teach you. You need to ask questions that reveal emotion. Let me show you how to do it. Question number 1, all right? Well, look, John, so before we jump into this, I would just love to know, what made you decide to take this meeting today? Boom. Question number 2, what's the biggest frustration you're dealing with right now? Boom. Question number 3, hey, how long has that been going on? Talk to me about that. Question 4, and how's this affecting the business? Question 5, so what happens if nothing changes 6 months from now? Where are we? So what you're doing is now you're not discussing accounting, where you're discussing consequences, and consequences create urgency. Write that down. All right? Stop selling logically. Selling isn't telling, it's emotional. Okay? Emotion is what kills deals. And just common sense, right? Sell the outcome. It's common sense of what's going to happen. There's 2 paths. You either fix this and you don't. Here's the results. And here's what I can do for you. Boom. Fixed. Problem solved. Talk to the future. All right. Module 5. This one's pretty cool, actually. Hey, how to connect with people on Zoom. A lot of you guys got firms and people in different states. All that kind of fun stuff, that you're really growing and you're really taking everything to the next level, but you're going to start connecting with more and more and more people through Zoom meetings. So how's that all run down? Well, most accountants waste the first 5 minutes. Instead, I want you to observe, okay? Hey, look, I see the golf clubs over there, John. You a golfer? You went on the green lately? Right? Those kinds of things. Hey, I see a Buckeyes flag over there. Right? You a Buckeyes fan? Where are you from? You see family photos. John, is that your wife over there? Wife and kids? How long have you been married? Guys, people love talking about things that matter to them. The mistake, don't jump around. Go deeper. Hey, you golf. How'd you get into golf, right? Why is that your favorite course that you ever played at? Now you're creating conversation, not interrogation. So you got to go layers and layers and layers and layers. Oh, you guys been married 20 years. Talk to me about your kids, man. No way, you got 3 of them? Oh, you guys are awesome parents, clearly. You know, those kinds of things. Go into it. How'd you meet your wife? Go deeper and deeper and deeper. All right, Module 6, the secret of deep rapport. The secret of deep rapport. Guys, most people ask follow-up questions. Elite communicators ask emotional follow-up questions. See, the prospect's going to say, we've grown pretty quickly. An average accountant's going to say, well, how quickly? Here's what you want to say. Well, what's been the hardest part of that growth? It's been awesome, but what's been the hardest part of that? And the prospect's going to say, we've hired a lot of people. The average accountant's going to say, how many? This is what I want you to say. What's been the biggest challenge managing all of that? Talk to me about that. One creates information, the other creates connection. All right, let's go to Module 7. Module 7, how to connect on the phone. Guys, your voice becomes your body language when you're on the phone. So 3 rules, okay? Slow down. I got my darn window cracked here. A fly flew in. Thing's driving me nuts as I'm talking over here. But anyway, how to connect your voice. Your voice and your tonality is everything. It's a weapon. It's your sword. So here's the 3 rules, okay? Guys, slow down. Write that down. Smile. Sound interested. Not interesting, but interested. Sound interested in them. That's a big difference. People love talking to people who care, right? Nobody cares about you. Like, just be a sponge for them. A sponge to learning about them. You know, quick story. I don't know if it's FBI or CIA, but anyways, they ran a study where they put one of their agents on a plane, and all he did was ask this passenger questions. He never talked about himself. When he got off the plane, they asked that passenger, hey, what do you think of the guy who sat next to you? He said, well, it's crazy you're asking me. That was the most interesting guy I've ever met. And all he did was ask him questions about himself. So just remember that. All right, Module 8, networking events. Most accountants walk into networking events looking for prospects, and that's why they fail. Instead, look for stories. Okay, stop asking, what do you do? Start asking, well, let me ask you, what got you into that? How did you get started with that? What's the biggest challenge in your business right now? Nobody asks these 3 questions, right? That's why nobody gets memorable answers. And people remember people who ask memorable questions. Just remember that. Module 9, the trust formula. People trust people who understand them, listen to them, remember things about them, follow up with them, care about them. Notice what's missing, accounting knowledge, because trust is emotional before it's logical, always. Nobody cares how much you know until they know how much you care, right? And I learned that from the legendary Roger Connect, president of Universal Accounting Center. All right, Module 10. Module 10. How to become the accountant people refer. How to become the accountant people refer. Guys, the accountants who get the most referrals do one thing differently. They make people feel important. They remember their names. They remember kids, remember spouses, remember goals, remember challenges, follow up later. My best advice, if you're doing a phone call or a meeting with someone, have your darn AI on, or you need to be taking notes. Oh gosh, another one just came in. Or I think that's a bee. I'm under attack today. A bee just came in here. I'm going to shut this window and kill those insects, have some fun. But look, here's the thing. You have to take notes. Your AI can take notes for you, or you need to be writing them down, but you need to always take what you learn from someone. If you meet someone at a grocery store, you meet someone at a networking event, like get their phone number, get it in there, your phone, and then put in notes about them, so then you can always carry that into the next conversation. You have to understand, most people are going to forget conversations, but elite relationship builders build databases inside their heads. People never forget how you make them feel, ever. Okay, final thought. The future belongs to accountants who can do two things: deliver results, build relationships. You have to understand, AI can answer questions, AI can generate reports, AI can explain tax law, but AI cannot replace genuine human connection. And the accountant who learns how to connect, communicate, and build trust will always outperform the accountant who only knows accountant. Hey! We'll see you in the next video. Make sure you like and subscribe. I promise I'll have this bee and fly taken out. No more windows open as we're making videos for you guys. See you in the next one.